प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
जय।
आचार्य शील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय।
जय।
प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय।
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन धाम की जय।
जय।
वृंदावन धाम की जय।
जय।
अवदीप धाम की जय।
जय।
गंगा मैया की जय हो।
जय।
यमुना मैया की जय।
जय।
भक्ति देवी की जय हो।
जय।
देवी की जय हो।
जय।
हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय हो।
जय।
समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय।
जय।
और प्रेमानंदे
हरि हरि बोल।
the assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा।
कृष्णा।
All glories to the assembled devotees.
हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा।
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा।
All glories, all glories, all glories to Shishi Guru and Shishi Gauranga. All
और श्री गुरु श्री गौरंगा हरि हरि बोल।
Guru, can you recite the verse? I'll share the screen.
Okay, please. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते
वासुदेवाय।
We are reading Canto 1, Chapter 19 and text number 8. Tatropajagmur punana महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्यः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशै स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः। तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्यः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशे स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः। तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्याः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशै स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः। Please recite.
तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनया सशिष्या प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशै स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति शान्तः।
तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्यः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशै स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्याः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशैः स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः। हरे कृष्ण। थैंक यू।
हरे कृष्ण। तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्यः प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशे स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः।
तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्या प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशै स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः।
Anyone else would like to say? Okay, then I'll listen. Tattropajagmur bhunam punana mahanubhava munaya sasishya prayena tirtha bigamam padeshahi swayam mitirthani punanti santaha. Synonyms: tatra, there; pajagmu, arrived; bhunam, universe, punana, those who can sanctify; maha anubhav, great minds; munya, thinkers; saha sishya, along with their disciples; prayena, almost; tirtha, place of pilgrimage; abhigama, journey; apadeshahi, on the plea of; swayam, personally; he, certainly; tirthani, all the places of pilgrimage; punanti, sanctified; santa, sages. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnarvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: at that time, all great minds and thinkers, accompanied by their disciples and sages who can verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. When Maharaj Parikshit sat down on the bank of Ganges, Ganga, the news spread in all directions of the universe. And the great minded sages who could follow the importance of the occasion all arrived there on the plea of pilgrimage. Actually, they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit and not to take a bath of pilgrimage, because all of them were competent enough to sanctify the places of pilgrimage. Common men go to pilgrimage site to get themselves purified of all sins. Thus, the places of pilgrimage becomes overburdened with the sins of the others. But when such sages visit overburdened places of pilgrimage, they sanctify the places by their presence. Therefore, the sages who came to meet Maharaj Parikshit were not very much interested in getting themselves purified like common men. But on the plea of taking a bath in that place, they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit because they could foresee that Srimad Bhagavatam would be spoken by Sukadev Goswami. All of them wanted to take advantage of the great occasion. Om Agyanti Mirdasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahim Dadati Swapadantikam. Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Apadikalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahegana Raghunath Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahegana Lalita Shri Vishaka Anvitamscha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Iti Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatharane Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gorattushe Nama Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhubheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namah. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानु सुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। क्षणमतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवण कीर्तन हृदन्तस्तु भद्राणि विघ्नोति स्वसतम् नष्टप्रायेष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवसेव्य भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टकी। Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you for today's Srimad Bhagavatam discussion. So today's verse, one more time again. Tatro pajagmur bhunam punana mahanubhava muniya sasishya prayena tirtha bigama padeshai swayam tirthani punanti santaha. So in this verse, there is a glorification of the devotees. How the devotees are always engaged in the service of Krishna, and with that they have power to even sanctify the places of pilgrimage. This is being highlighted in this verse. And today also a very special day. So today is like the disappearance day of Srivash Pandit. So Srivash Pandit is none other than the exalted devotee Narad Muni, who is Bhaktavatar. So we say that Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivash Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrind. So all the Gaur Bhakta Vrind, all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all of us, we are being included, including all the Guru Param, all the devotees in Gaudiya Vaishnava, all the devotees, they are all included, and the topmost is Srivash Pandit. Srivash Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Means the first Gaur Bhakta Vrinda is Srivash. If we see in like the Pancha Tattva, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Lord Nityananda is Balaram. Advaita Acharya, Shri Advaita Acharya Prabhu is Mahavishnu. So they are all three are the Lord. They are all come into the category of the Lord. Then we have Gadadhar Pandit, who is the internal potency of the Lord. Then we have Srivash Pandit, who is the Bhakta Shakti, the Shakti or the devotees of the Lord. He represents all the Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So today is the like disappearance day of Srivash Pandit. So let's all offer our obeisances to Srivash Pandit and take his blessings. And today's verse is very relevant because it is glorifying the devotees. How devotees are glorified because they are always engaged in the service of Krishna, always thinking about Krishna. And because of that, the glories of the devotees are mentioned in this verse, that the devotees can even sanctify the place of pilgrimage. So let's offer the obeisances. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So now in this verse, it is mentioned that Tatro Pajagmur Bhuvanana Pavana. Tatra means that place. Which place is that? The place where Parshit Maharaj decided to sit down and do Amran Anshan. Amran Anshan means, Amran means till death. Anshan means no eating, no drinking. So when Parshit Maharaj came to know that he is going to leave the body after 7 days, he immediately decided, without having a second thought, that this is the best opportunity for me to hear Krishna Katha. He said, like, now in next 7 days, I want to submerge myself in Krishna Katha. He has that desire in his heart. He wants to hear Krishna Katha. Because he's a pure devotee of the Lord. He saw Krishna when he was in the womb of his mother. So at that time, since then, he was looking for Krishna. And he saw this opportunity that now I have 7 days left. Let me hear Krishna Katha. Normally, when we hear this kind of news that we are going to leave this world, or we have only that much time left, people try to do many other things to wrap up this or that. What's going to happen to my wife, my children, my family, my kingdom, my investments, wherever money is there, my car, my house, so many things they think about that. And also what's going to happen next. But Parshit Maharaj, immediately when he heard that he's going to leave the body after 7 days because of a curse, he immediately called Janmejaya, who is his son, and he said, you are the king now, and I'm leaving. He did not even take a single penny, nothing, no clothing, nothing. He just came out from the kingdom and came to the bank of Ganga and sat down there by thinking that I'm going to leave this body without eating and drinking, because I have offended a devotee, I have offended a rishi, a sage, because I was hungry and thirsty. Now I'm not going to eat and drink because of that. This is the dedication he has. Because he was hungry and thirsty, he committed an mistake, he committed an offense against a sage, a brahmana. Now he's repenting that, well, because I did that, now I'm not going to drink and eat at all. Because of this body, I made this mistake. Because of this body, I offended a brahmana. Now I'm going to do austerity. I'm going to do tapasya, so that when the time comes to leave the body, then I get purified from that. So he came there. And as soon as Maharaj Parikshit decided this and came to bank of Ganga, the news spread like a fire. Like normally nowadays, if something happen, our WhatsApp business start very fast, ting, 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 ting. They spread see, if I would have said this thing, that news spread very fast, like 20 years back. 20 years back, people would have not believed that how the news spread so fast. People say, well, you have to write a letter, you need to make a phone call, something like that. They never thought about, like, after 20 years, this WhatsApp will come, or this social media will come, you put something and then it spread like anything. So when human system can spread news that fast, what about the Lord system? So somebody can say, like, how can the news spread all over the world? It is like that, as soon as Parikshit Maharaj decided to sit down on the bank of Ganga, all the sages, who are Trikaldarshis, who can see past, present, future, they immediately came to know that, oh my, this is the time that Srimad Bhagavatam is going to come. They were waiting for that. So suddenly, immediately, it's mentioned Srimad Bhagavatam, immediately when Maharaj Parikshit came there, all the sages, all over the world, not even this earth planet, from Swargaloka, from the heavenly planets, from all different planets, they all came there. And they not even come alone. They brought there all the Shishyas, all the disciples. The reason why they all came is mentioned here, but I would like to highlight why they bring their disciples. See, it is the duty of a guru to teach their disciples whenever there is a special event is going on by showing that. So all the sages, they brought their disciples to show that, look how Parshit Maharaj is so elevated. Even though their disciples might be very highly elevated, but they want to show the live example that how a devotee like actually submerge himself in a Krishna Katha. They all know that Parshit Maharaj is going to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. That's what mentioned, Prabhupada mentioned, they all came to hear Srimad Bhagavatam on the plea of visiting the pilgrimage. So what happened is, in their ashramas, wherever they are, they told everyone that, well, I'm going to the Ganga, I'm going to Haridwar, I'm going to the that place to take a bath. That is normally happen. So here is mentioned the place of pilgrimage. So now let's think about what is a place of pilgrimage. What is Tirtha? Like in Sanskrit, we call Tirtha. So Tirth or pilgrimage is a place where Lord and his devotees has performed a pastime. Wherever the Lord performed his pastime, or his devotees, or anything associated with the Lord, is, and like say in like river Ganga, the Ganga is basically coming directly from the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. That's why all the bank of Ganga is a Tirtha, because they are in touch with the Ganga, and Ganga is directly coming from the feet of the Lord Vishnu, and because of that, anyone who take bath or anyone who take shelter of Mother Ganga, they all get purified. So, but here these many times we all like people go to the site of pilgrimage to purify ourselves. We have this motive that when we go to the like Haridwar or Rishikesh or Gangotri or like Banaras, like Kashi or Prayagraj, and so many times people go to these holy places because they want to get rid of their sinful activities. It is mentioned in the Shastra that if you take a bath in a river Ganga, you will get free from your sinful reactions. So many people go there and they get free from the sinful reaction by taking bath in Ganga. So what happened to those sinful reactions? See, like if some sinful person go and then he take a bath and then he will get free from sinful reaction. But where that reaction goes, the reaction actually stays in the place of pilgrimage. That person is getting free from the sinful activities, sinful reaction, but those reaction has to be there because he's getting free, but the reaction stays in the site of pilgrimage. So when many people goes there and take bath in the holy places, the whole cumulative sinful reaction gather there together. And then when some saintly person, when a devotee of the Lord visit that place, and when he visit that place, just by his mere presence, all those sinful reactions destroyed immediately. This is the power of pure devotional service. Without pure devotional service, you cannot destroy all the sinful reaction like this. So the devotees go to those places, like we see Srila Prabhupada visited Kumbh Mela or Prayagraj or wherever like Srila Prabhupada used to go. So those saintly people, when they go there, they are not going there for their own purification, because they are already purified, they are pure devotees. When they go there and they perform devotional service there, all the sinful reactions which are accumulated there from long time by the people who have left their sinful reaction there, they are all get destroyed. So that's why here in this verse it's mentioned that Bhuvanan Punanaha, who have a power to purify the three worlds. The devotees have this power. And why they have this power? Because of their pure devotional service. When a devotee performs pure devotional service, because of that, they can actually purify the whole world. And why they go there? Maha Anubhav. Maha Anubhav is because Prabhupada says that great minds, They are broad-minded people. They want to give to the society, to the people who are suffering this material world. They want to bless them with their presence and by giving them devotional service. So these all the munis, all the rishis, they all gathered along with their disciples. See, if you see, there is a list of sages who came there. Number one is, like, I would say, Narad Muni. Narad Muni himself was there. He is the guru of Srila Vedvyas Muni. And Vedvyas Muni also came there along with his disciples. And then Sukadeva Goswami is one of his disciples who actually gave Srimad Bhagavatam. And then Bhagavan Parshuram was there along with his disciples. Atri Muni, Vasishtha Muni, Chavan Muni, all these great sages, they all came. And they were all not coming alone. They are coming with their thousands of disciples. Thousands of disciples, they come, and they were all sat down to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. That is a beauty. That is the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam, that all these sages, they all came there. So somebody would have said that, these sages are like, free people. Generally they say like, Matajis and sages, they are free. They have no work, so they can come and sit in the Bhagavatam Katha. But it's not that. These sages are not free people. It's not that they have no work. They have more work than us. They're so busy in their activities. But still, when they hear Srimad Bhagavatam is going to be there, they immediately came. Because Srimad Bhagavatam has to be given the topmost attention by giving up all other activities. I heard one time Srila Prabhupada, like, he was giving a Srimad Bhagavatam class, and he was asking for one of his disciples who was working in a kitchen. So he asked other devotees, where is that the devotee? Then they say, Prabhupada, he is basically busy in the kitchen service. Then Prabhupada immediately say, tell him to stop that and come to listen to the class. That is the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam, that when Srimad Bhagavatam is there, everyone should come and listen, because this is our whole life. This is our devotional life. This is the basis of our devotional life. So this is like all these sages, they give up all their engagements. They might be engaging in so many other activities, but they gave up all their engagements. And they tell all their disciples, come together and hear Srimad Bhagavatam. So what we can learn from this? So when there is Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, don't go alone. Take your whole family. It is a duty of a head of a family to take the whole family when there is Srimad Bhagavatam Katha is going on. When there is Srimad Bhagavatam discussion is there, it's a norm that the whole family should listen together. It's not that only the one or the two members of the family listen, other people are engaged in their own activities. It was a culture in the Vedic system, that Vedic time, that everyone used to come and listen. Even in the villages, maybe might be right now, but olden time, like in the villages, in the evening time, Prabhupada mentioned many times that all the village people used to come and sit down and listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. That is so important. So all these sages, they all came there to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam, and they told in their like ashramas that, oh, we are going to a tirtha, we are going to the holy place of Ganga there to take a bath. They gave that reason, but the ultimate reason what Prabhupada mentioned is that they came there to listen to Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. They know that Maharaj Parikshit is going to hear Srimad Bhagavatam Katha. And also, the another important point what Prabhupada mentioned here is that who could follow the importance of the occasion? This is the Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, and also they know that Maharaj Parikshit is going to leave the body there. He's going to go back home, back to Godhead. So as I say, today is a disappearance day of Srivas Pandit. So whenever a Vaishnava appear and whenever Vaishnava disappear, both is the occasion of great festival. So Maharaj Parikshit going back home, back to Godhead, to see them, to see this particular event, all the sages came there. Because, we say that, well, by performing devotional service, we will go back home, back to Godhead. So somebody might say that we want to see who actually going there. So all these sages brought their disciples and they say, look, here Maharaj Parikshit going back home, back to Godhead. So that's a very special occasion, very, very special occasion. And for that occasion, all these sages, they all came on this place of pilgrimage. So here Prabhupada further mentioned, actually they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit and not to take bath of pilgrimage, because all of them were competent enough to sanctify the place of pilgrimage. So their real purpose is not to sanctify, not to take their path and sanctify themselves, rather they want to sanctify the whole place. They were capable of sanctifying the place of pilgrimage, but they want to meet Maharaj Parikshit, who is going to go back home, back to Godhead in after 7 days. And the last point here, Prabhupada mentioned that the sages who came to meet Maharaj Parikshit were not very much interested in getting themselves purified like common men, but on the plea of taking bath in that place, they came to meet Maharaj Parikshit because they could foresee that Srimad Bhagavatam would be spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. So this is the same point that I already discussed. In Srimad Bhagavad Gita also, Krishna mentioned that whenever my devotees, they get together, like we see like these different events when we go like different sadhu sangha or different festivals and all, what exactly happened? So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Machchitta madgat prana bodhyanta parasparam katam cha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. So when the devotees, they get together and meet, what they do, they discuss about me. They discuss about my pastimes, my activities, my qualities, my holy name. And when they discuss, they feel pleasure. They derive great pleasure and satisfaction by discussing Krishna Katha. So Maharaj Parikshit is going to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam is most pleasing. It is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, like by hearing each word of Srimad Bhagavatam, we get tushti, pushti, and santushti. As we eat, like say, suppose if somebody is a hungry man and he's very hungry, he's looking for food. So as soon as he gets some food and start eating, so one morsel by one morsel, one bite by one bite, he is getting tushti, pushti, and santushti. Tushti means like his hunger is getting satisfied. Pushti means his body is basically getting nourished, and santushti means satisfaction. Similarly, when we hear Srimad Bhagavatam Katha, each and every verse, each and every word, each and every discussion, we are feeling great pleasure, great satisfaction we are getting, and our spiritual life is getting nourished. Our spiritual life, our devotional life is getting nourished, and we are deriving great pleasure out of that. So this is the like greatness of Krishna Katha, and especially the devotees. The association of devotees is so important, and the devotees are so powerful because of their devotional service. So this particular verse specifies mainly these points, where how devotees are so magnanimous that they are ready to spread the holy name of the Lord all over the world. For that, they are leaving their own engagements. They are coming there, and they are coming there to hear Krishna Katha and to spread the glories of the holy name. So one time, like in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, when Sukadeva Goswami appear, like we'll see in the second canto, when the second canto will start. So in the first chapter, when Sukadeva Goswami came to the place of this where Parikshit Maharaj is there, so at that time it is mentioned that this Srimad Bhagavatam discussion or the katha is so important that it can purify the whole environment here. And it is being recited for the benefit of the whole society. So somebody may question that Srimad Bhagavatam Katha was spoken by Sukdev Goswami to Maharaj Parikshit. So it is only for Maharaj Parikshit, and all other sages, they were just listening. So how can the Srimad Bhagavatam is going to help the society at large? So, but here, what this verse says that wherever there is a katha, where there is a place, where there is a pastimes of Lord, and where there is a discussion of Srimad Bhagavatam is happening, or the chanting of the holy name is happening, that place itself become place of pilgrimage. And all the people who are sinful, when they visit those holy places, they get sanctified. Say like we have a temple. So temple, all the devotees comes and they chant, they hear Srimad Bhagavatam, we glorify Krishna, we serve Krishna. So because of that, that place become a place of pilgrimage. So when a normal person, a common person come to visit the temple or visit the other holy places, they can get free from their sinful reaction by visiting that places. And that place will basically become an instrument in their purification. But why this place become pilgrimage? Because the activity of the Lord, the pastime of the Lord, the recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, and especially the devotees. When the devotees visit those holy places, they actually sanctify that place. So that's why, like even like in one of the song, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that, like, the day when I see a kirtan in somebody's house, that house become like a Golok Vrindavan. So that is the power of the devotees. When they visit somebody's house, when the Vaishnava visits somebody's house and perform Sankirtan, recite Srimad Bhagavatam, that time that place will become like a Golok Vrindavan. So we see Srila Prabhupada visited many places all over the world. He traveled the globe 14 times. Some people say 12 times, I guess, maybe 12 times. So he visited so many places and he sanctified all those places. Now we see that Holy Dham, this place of pilgrimage is so many places. All these temples that he establishes, they're all becoming an instrument in purifying these like the whole population whoever visiting over there. So this is the power of the devotees and the power of the holy name. So that's the main point which is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, this verse. And let me stop here and see like if anyone have any comment or any question related to what I discussed or related to this verse. Or maybe they can share their realization. If they have visited any place of pilgrimage, they can share their realization.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
One of the things you were saying was, when you were saying Srila Prabhupada asked that disciple to come and listen to Bhagavatam and not do his service. Sometimes we hear that service is equally important because things need to get done. So how do we decide at what, at what time what is important? Like how do we make those?
Yeah, so the choice is that when Guru is speaking and when Srimad Bhagavatam is when he's speaking and giving instructions, that is where that's the most important thing for a disciple. And especially like say if that service what you're doing can wait for few minutes, then you should basically stop that service. But if that service has to happen at that time and there is no other way you can perform that service later, or that time will go away, right? So then you can take the permission from your guru and say like I want to perform that service, I am going to miss the class. But we need to take the permission. What I'm saying is Srila Prabhupada want to stress this point that he following the instruction of guru following the instruction of the spiritual master is the most important thing in our devotional life. Like if we if a spiritual master want us to listen Srimad Bhagavatam, we should listen. But if he's instructing that yes, you can skip the Bhagavatam class and do that service, then fine. Main point is that he's like we are basically not really like giving when it's come to importance. Our main is that we are performing devotional service by the mercy of our Guru only. We cannot approach Krishna directly. We go through Guru Parampara only. So that's why in this kind of scenario, when there is a clash, when there is a two services need to be done, which is important, which is not, that time we need to basically make a judgment by hearing from our spiritual master what is because if we can delay one service and do one at a time, that's fine. But if we need both has to be done at the same time, then we need to basically check with authority, maybe our spiritual master, senior temple authority, temple president, vice president, whoever is there, who is senior to us, and then who can guide us like what to do, and then they can actually guide us.
Yes, most of the time it's not that it's clear. You can hold off one thing to make sure that we listen to Bhagavatam, and listening to Bhagavatam is extremely important. It's just when we do have to make the choice, I just wanted to know how do we make that happen. And as far as realizations go, I think, like you were saying, these places where Bhagavad Katha is being spoken, it definitely has a power. Being at Sadhu Sangha, just being immersed for 3 days in that world, just definitely has a bigger effect than you come back here and it's again diluted with so many other things. So as much as possible, we should try to go to these sanghas. Mother Vindhyavali has her hand up.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Good, fantastic class. And I just want to know, for a grihastha, sometimes will be very difficult to balance those two things. So listening to Bhagavatam and or going with somebody and then doing her grihastha services, That is one point I have. And just explain to me the tushti, pushti and santrupti. Santrupti I know, but tushti, pushti. That's all I have to say.
So you want to know what is tushti and pushti?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like when you like, as I say, like when you are hungry and you want food, or you want to like because you are very hungry, and as soon as you start eating one bite, so you start getting like now some kind of this called our hunger is start going down. Tushti means your hunger is start going down bite by bite, and pushti means like your body is nourished. Because of hunger, our body is like becoming weak. So like, and if you start eating one bite by bite, so you are getting your hunger is going down and you are getting strength one bite by bite. That is pushti, your body getting nourished. And regarding your second question, like in a Grasta family, how do we balance? So I would divert it to His Grace Cavalier Prabhu if he can answer that, because he's our like role model. Prabhuji, if you are there, please answer this question, like how we can balance in our Grasta life.
Yes, Prabhuji. You can hear me? I'm outside the house, that's why. Okay. So balancing in the family, we have to see that we are doing more like Krishna Katha and any service to Krishna's devotional service. That's very important, so our children and other family members can see that this is the most important thing in the life, Of course, we have to do our daily duties, the material duties, but they all should be related to Krishna seva, like cooking, should be done by Krishna rather than our tongue, that what Krishna will like, like the same thing, what we like get ready, that's for Krishna, earn the money for Krishna and use it for the donations in the temples, to support Krishna conscious activity rather than, enjoying at the seashore or things like that, So those kind of thing, we should not worry about the body enjoyment rather than enjoyment of Krishna. Then we can balance family properly, and our children will see that practically, that my parents are chanting, my parents are reading, my parents are worshiping the deities. So when they see these things, they also learn by our example. If we are doing something else, and watching TV or watching movies, those kind of things, when we do, of course our children see, then they will know, what importance we are giving in our life, So similarly, they children are very innocent actually, and they follow their parents. So we should not do any kind of those kind of activities, reading the like novels and those kind of things, in front of children. If we do it, what actually not in front or front, doesn't matter, but we should never do those kind of things, which is contrary to our devotional practices. So if we do that, we will give proper example to our family and all other people in the society at large. So then we can set a proper example.
Thank you, Prabhu. Is that answer the question, Mataji?
I was just asking, a grihastha means a lady in grihastha.
Okay.
How can she choose that by going to Bhagavatam Katha or taking care of the house in grihastha? So that is very, very hard things, very much. At same time, if you have to be in two places, it's very difficult for, say, for a person, man, he can do it. But for ladies, it is very hard to answer or do those things. That's what my question was.
Yeah, no, I understand, Mataji, but I think you can answer this question by yourself. I know you are the most senior here, and
Yes.
and you are asking question, I know, but again, you can answer better than us.
I went through that. That's why I'm asking.
No, but my thing is what I see is the most important point I see is both are important, as you're saying, because if we don't take care of our family, then our family will not see Krishna consciousness in a right perspective. But if we don't do devotional service also, then we will lose our devotional service. We'll lose our own sadhana. So both are important. So we have to make a balance. And in that balance, what we have to do is we have to make sure that our family goes together with that. So I can personally say from my side is that generally what we see is we basically try to do the devotional service together. Husband and wife and children, we all want to do devotional service together. So when this togetherness comes, so then nobody feels that I'm left out, or because I am doing homework and then other person is doing devotional life. So that should not be there. It should be if a family goes together doing devotional service, for example, if you're visiting a temple, you're going together, visiting a sadhu sangha, going together, visiting like a Rath Yatra, going together, and then where you are at home doing work together. So that way, everything basically goes in right perspective. But when it says one person has to do work and another person has to enjoy or go doing devotional service, then person feel what I'm doing is sitting in the house, I'm doing the whole work. So that feeling should not be there. Main point is that both are important and both should be done in a positive mind frame that we are doing for Krishna. Even household work in a house, if you are cooking, and ultimately we are offering to Krishna. So when we are if you are making a prasadam at house, that's also equally important. It's not that visiting Rath Yatra or visiting Krishna, other holy places or going in some other place is more important than cooking and offering the prasadam like in the home. So that is also important because we are serving the home deities. So they are also equal because that's the where we are spending our most of the time. One devotee told me like, in temple we go once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe thrice a week, right? But in home we live 24/7. So we have to make sure that we actually like if whoever is grasta living in a home, that they should take care of their home deities nicely by offering them nice bhoga, performing arti, so that the whole family can get benefit of that devotional service. So that's my point. So like we should not think about that like doing household work means like not a Krishna conscious work, because if it's related to Krishna, then it basically makes perfect sense.
I'm not saying that. Where children, small children are there. Yesterday, for example, that Mataji was singing Narasimha prayer. That child was bothering her so much, but still she was singing. But that is very hard for a mother.
Yes.
And then, but until that Prabhu came and to pick up the child, she couldn't do it. And a child doesn't know what is going on. So that was the situation, Grihastha, sometimes. She will have a hard time. She wants to listen to Katha. She wants to do the prayer. But still, it's very hard for Grihastha. That's what I just...
In that, like the husband and wife has to make a good coordination. Like when Mataji is doing service, then Prabhuji should take care of the children. When Prabhuji is doing service, Mataji. But because we need to take care of children, we cannot ignore them. We cannot really like say now we cannot ignore. We have to take care of small children. That is the duty that Prabhupada gave us, because they are the devotees also. So we have to take care of the young children, and we need to make sure that at that time devotional service also taken care. If it's come what to choose, I would prefer to take care of the devotees first. That's more important.
See, that same thing with elderly people also in the house. If they are there, you have to take care of them first. Because like a children only, they are 18, 19, they are children only. But anyway, I was just asking you that Grihastha, it's very hard. The Grihastha ladies, it's very hard for doing to both. But yeah, we can do the deities at home, and then we can do, there are a lot of things out there. Your family, you're lucky. All four of you. That's so good. God bless you.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Alpesh Prabhu, you have a hand raised. You have any question or comments?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisance. Very nice class as usual. Actually, this topic came up. I wanted to whatever I read and what I know, I would like to share on that a little bit. And also, I have a question on some of the real life experience. So the first, I would like to share. So I think so. In the current times when we are in the Grihastha ashram, a lot of things are uncultured right now for us, even though we try to do the right way, but it's still not. So I came across when reading Prabhupada's, right? He said why that husband and wife thing doesn't work is like, so wife needs to be chaste with husband, but husband needs to do 10 times more devotion than wife. So because generally the decision maker would be husband, and if somebody has to go to Krishna Katha, and if husband is not 10 times more devotee than wife, then she cannot become chaste. So that is one of the thing. And the Grihastha ashram, the whole concept was to develop into ashram, which you emphasizes, like it was oriented in the direction of devotional service. But now we are struggling somehow because we come from different family backgrounds. We are meeting together, and the whole marriage idea has become a material enjoyment versus spiritual consciousness development. So that is also being not educated from childhood. So our past varnashram system was kind of designed to educate more on that, like developing that aspect, when we enter into the Grihastha ashram. But it has to start from childhood, which your family is doing, doing rightly what you can, to your best. So that is how every parents should have been doing that. But we don't have that environment around us. Neither we seek for those, neither we know about it sometime, if you want to seek it. So there are those things. So this was my like a humble point on those. And the other question is I have is related to the association. Sometime I have been in coming to the temples, and certain people I meet, and there are devotees, of course they are, and they kind of approach me and they say, oh, I come to the temple, but the association, they don't like the association when they come, and they think, okay, only way to get learned is by reading books, by understanding Srila Prabhupada books, because that is where the best association is. And they don't really want to associate with the devotees. So across outside the temple also, when I do the book distribution, they find that what is the need to come to temple? Everything is written in the book. Why you have to associate with devotees? I know I have some answers for my own self, but like to give the powerful answers to people who are intermittent coming to the temples or who are not coming to the temples, and to present like the power of association. How would we explain those people, like, okay, by reading books, it's a good association, nobody denies that, but associating with devotees, getting sadhu sangha is very, very important, as compared to just not but just not by just looking at it, because they may come to the places of pilgrimage or temple or anything like that. In that there are different varieties of people. Of course, not everybody is perfect, but the mentality is like, what I do is right and what other people are doing is wrong. That mentality is very, very dangerous when we are in the association. The idea of association is like to learn like what somebody is good at it, and how can I develop that skill on my by looking, by hearing from them, or by associating with them. Not everybody is good at everything, but we see that, okay, some person is good on this, but this is also a struggle. After we invite somebody to a temple, then they may not continue to come to temple, or they may discontinue themselves coming to the temple, but because they see ego or something like that. And how do we sublime that, or we give a powerful answer to those kind of varieties? Yeah, please, Prabhu, if you can explain.
Yeah, no, thank you for your comment. And so, like, for the association, sorry. So thank you for your comment, Prabhuji. To answer your question, that association is like, it depend upon, like, I think if a person is ready to listen to our answer, then we can give. Sometimes people like don't ready to support. But one thing that we generally say is that, one is the book reading, which is the knowledge part. So definitely we all get knowledge from the books, right? Which is basically from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam and all. But when it's come to the practicality, like, even though books are there, but still, like, in order to implement things in our life, we need examples sometime, So, like, for example, like, if we see a field of medicine, like in a field of medicine, if a person become a doctor just by reading books, if a person like say, okay, I can read the books, can I become a doctor? He can know the things, but he really cannot practice until as he sees the cases, he go through the people who are basically doing those work, because their experience also matters. So similarly, if you see, look at a Srimad Bhagavatam. What is Srimad Bhagavatam? Srimad Bhagavatam is the pastimes of Krishna and his devotees only. Srimad Bhagavatam in book is the Krishna Katha, which is the pastimes of Krishna, his incarnations and his devotees. Like we see pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, how Prahlad Maharaj struggled in his family and how he became a devotee. We see the pastime of Dhruv Maharaj, how he's basically in the age of Satyuga, when he was challenged by his stepmother, how did he actually perform devotional service and how did he get the favor of Lord Krishna. Similarly, we have Jada Bharat Maharaj pastime. So many other devotees pastimes are there in Srimad Bhagavatam. Those are all inspiring to us. And plus, we the example of Srila Prabhupada. And in the current scenario, in the age of this Kali, we have many devotees, like all the devotees, how they are performing devotional service, how they are engaging in devotional service, how they are practically performing this devotional service. So these are quite very important for us to make progress. So we can say them, yes, reading books is sufficient if you follow each and every instruction, what is written in books. Right? Are they ready to follow what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Sarva Dharman Pratajya, Mamekam Shranam Vraja? Can they do that? If they can do that, yeah, fine, you can do that. Let's go ahead and do it. But they are merely reading and not following. And they say, like, how can I follow? If Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Pratajya, Mamekam Shranam Vraja, you quote this verse and say, can you do that? And then he say, like, well, I'm doing. The immediate answer is, I'm already doing. But which they are not doing actually, because they don't understand the verse. First of all, they are saying they are reading books, but they are not really understanding the meaning behind the books. So because of that, they are misinterpreting the words of even scriptures, and they are thinking that they are following everything. So that is their ignorance actually. So they need to first understand the meaning of what books are saying. Like this is a very powerful verse. Sarva Dharman Pratajya Mamekam Shranam Vraja. If somebody can really follow this, he will really make a progress. Prabhupada says that. But problem is people are not following. They are merely saying that we are reading books and we are trying to follow. Then why we need that? So books are powerful and devotees are also powerful, because devotees are the live example of those books. Whatever written in the books, they are the live examples. Sometimes people say that, well, I cannot understand. Can you give me example? So that example is a devotee's life. So that's why they say, like, well, books are good, but if you want to see the live example, you have to come in a devotee association. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. The reason of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one of the reasons of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearance is to teach how to become a devotee. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself came to taught us how to become a devotee of Lord. Because becoming a devotee of Lord is not easy. Becoming a pure Vaishnava is not an easy task. It's really something. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu especially came and showed us how to become a devotee of the Lord. So these devotees are basically the live examples of the devotional service and of what is written in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. So if they want to understand the books, they have to see the life of the devotees. Even in the introduction of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada says that, book Bhagavatam and person Bhagavat. There is a Srimad Bhagavatam book and a person Bhagavat is a devotee who is following the instruction of Srimad Bhagavatam. Both are important, but person Bhagavat can easily give you mercy. Book Bhagavatam is there. You can read Bhagavatam, but it is depend upon your own intelligence whether you can interpret, whether you can understand the Bhagavatam easily or not. If you cannot understand by your own intelligence, then you need to take shelter of book person Bhagavat who can taught you Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada specifically says that we have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from person Bhagavat actually. When we hear Srimad Bhagavatam from person Bhagavat, then it makes perfect sense. But if we try to understand by our own brain, we might not be able to understand. So that's why association is very important. It is the main key. Like without that, our devotional service won't even start actually. If we see in the scriptures mentioned that devotional service start by the mercy of devotees only. By the mercy of otherwise, see, even getting a book, suppose if somebody get a Srimad Bhagavad Gita, they are getting from devotee only. Some devotee have published that book, that's why you are getting. So somehow or other you are getting devotee association, but you are not recognizing that. So that's why I would say like devotee association is very important in order to make progress in our spiritual life. Otherwise, we don't even know whether we are making progress or not. We might be still in the material world. We might not be like doing any make progress in the devotional life until we come and take association of the devotees. There are many examples you can do. One example that I gave about the medicine field, like any other field, you can even in any material field, you can say like whichever is basically in the field you want to make progress, you need to come in association of those people, like-minded people. So like if they will understand, then if they are like a logical person, then they will understand. But if they are only simply arguing, then really we can't help them. If they are simply arguing, oh, how can this possible? How can this possible? So if you are really like ready to listen to answer, then this is without devotee association is very difficult to practice devotional service on your own. I'm not saying it's not at all possible, but it is very, very difficult. Very, very difficult to perform devotional service without association of devotee. Especially in the age of Kali Yuga, I can say. Because this in the age of Kali Yuga is very, very difficult to perform devotional service without the association of devotees. All right.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you
Prabhupada,
very much.
one person didn't stand up when Guru came, and he was just doing it. So he said, this guy will fall down in his devotional life. That is what I, because he was not associating. Yeah, it's very difficult to say. In few people end up into argument, and I don't know when to stop myself also, and when to not even talk about it. But from my innocent heart, I'd like to say, okay, it is important, but cannot convey. Few minutes.
All right. Thank you very much. Anyone have any other comment or question before we end our call for today?
See any more
Thank you very
hands
much,
up?
everyone. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you also for filling in for Brihad Mridanga, Prabhu, especially at the last minute. We'll see everybody at 5 o'clock for the happy hour, and tomorrow morning again at 7:50.
Thank you very much, Prabhu, for a nice
Thank you.
class.
Vancha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhuveva cha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo Namaha.
Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda.